Hi everybody, my name is Mark Adams. Welcome to my school. This year we're going to do something special. We're going to do a 5 minutes with Mark, and it's going to give me an opportunity to talk to some of the people who are teaching here. We are in our 25th year, and in those 25 years we've had somewhere in the neighborhood of about 34,000 people come through the door from all over the world. And the reason that they come here is to spend time with brilliant craftsmen such as the two I'm going to talk to today, Jeff and Steve. I got to tell you a little bit about them before we get started. Headley and Hamilton are a part of the American tradition when it comes to woodworking. Jeff's great-grandfather, Jeff's grandfather, Jeff's father, Jeff and his brother Mac, who was a master cabinet maker at Colonial Williamsburg, now retired, and Mac's son make up for 5 generations. It was exactly 100 years ago in 1918 that they started their first shop. So these guys are carrying on a true American tradition. And it's a great opportunity to talk to them and learn a little bit more about what makes them tick and the type of work that they do. So Jeff, what kind of work do you guys actually do?
We copy anything pretty much 1820 and earlier. We came up with that date because that's when you'll start seeing more pieces produced with machines. So we try to do mostly handwork. So that's why we say 1820.
And Steve, how many pieces do you guys produce a year?
Maybe 10.
10. So
Yeah,
it's
10.
all truly done by hand.
Yeah,
Being productive when you do work with hand is sometimes a little bit slower, but it certainly makes the pieces more valuable. Who's been the most, what is the most prestigious work you've ever done, or who is the most prestigious person you've ever worked for?
We've worked for the White House for 7 administrations.
Wow.
And we've worked for Williamsburg. We've worked for Mount Vernon, plus usually the man down the street or the woman down the street. So
A little bit of everything. You know, it's interesting. Last night, the President of the United States hosted the President of France. And they had a state dinner on a state table that you guys made, the table and the chairs. Is that correct?
we did make the state dining room table. I'm not sure whether they used it last night or not.
Oh, I think that we saw a photo of it and it looked like they did.
Okay.
So that was really a cool thing to have you guys do that. You know, other than your woodworking, what kind of hobbies do you have?
I do like to build furniture, so that's one of my hobbies. I used to ref volleyball.
Really?
I have cows, so that's a hobby that's been fun.
So you're a farmer too.
Yeah.
What about you, Steve? What do you do for fun?
I work in the shop 7 days a week. Jeff is alone in the shop every Thursday afternoon.
So you really are the guy that
I play
handles the
golf.
whole thing.
Yeah.
So you're a golfer?
I play golf in the
What's your
Thursday
handicap?
afternoon. 12, 14.
Well, that's
Yeah.
not too bad. So Jeff, you're doing something right now that's really unique and different than making furniture. What are you working on?
Building arcs, building I guess a
Arcs,
model
like-
of an ark,
like
Noah's
arcs?
Ark.
The boat?
The boat, yes.
It's not a boat, it's an ark.
It's
an
an ark,
ark,
that's
okay.
right. Yeah, about 14 feet long, roughly. So, and all the sides come off so that you can see all the interior. So it's very similar to like a dollhouse, but with the ark theme.
And how many have you made?
This will be the 3rd one.
The 3rd one. And where do these arcs go?
They go all over the place. The same fellow owns them all, and he takes them to different museums and then different talks and so on to encourage kids to be interested a little bit more into religion. So,
Well, that's a great thing. And if you're building arcs, what are you working on right now?
No. Actually, I need to start on another miniature for myself.
So miniatures is what you enjoy doing the
Yeah.
most, making
Yeah.
smaller things.
I don't own any of them, but I build them and they seem to...
So you don't own any of your own furniture?
Not much of it.
And you've been doing it for how many years?
43 now. It's my
43, and
year.
if you make 10 pieces a year, that's 430 pieces that you've been involved with, and you don't have a one of them?
No.
Wow.
Not the miniatures. I got a bed that I made and a couple other things, but
What did you do before you started woodworking?
I built houses.
And when did you go to work for Jeff's father?
I went there temporarily,
Temporarily.
43 years ago.
And as a matter of
And I'm
fact,
still there temporarily.
as a matter of fact, did you meet your first wife there too?
Yes, I did.
And her last name was what?
Headley.
So you two are related, sort of, brother-in-laws? And you've been together now for 43 some odd years?
Yeah, just about.
Pretty much. And how old were you when you started in the shop?
I was underfoot in the shop, so I was turning on the lathe when I had to have a box to stand on. So yeah, I just grew up in the shop.
Unbelievable. Well, you get to know a little bit more about these guys and where they're headed. But here's an interesting thing. They're going to be back here later on this year for another workshop, sometime in late October. What's that class going to be?
Building a clothes press entertainment center. It could be either one.
And we have openings in that class. And so we'd like to invite people to come. If you can't make it, what's your webpage address?
Headley and Sons headleyandsons.com.
Okay. And last, the one thing that I'd like to do is I'd like to invite you to look back, because I'm going to interview as many of my instructors as I can as the summer goes on, so that you can learn a little bit more about the true attraction to the MASW school. Thank you very much.